Welcome back, everybody. So a new report shows 582 people were executed in 2022, last year, by the Iranian government, executing 75% more people than the year prior. This is according to Iran human rights groups. Since last year and well into this year, Iran has been rocked by the widespread protests after the death of Mahsa Amini. It's something we've covered extensively here on our newscast. And this morning, we're joined by the president of the California Society for Democracy in Iran, Nasser Sharif. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Well, thank you for having me.
You know, it's hard to hear that many people killed by Iran's government. Nasser, if you could explain to us what's been happening in Iran for the past several months now.
Yeah, as you know, the Iran revolution continues. It's the 8 months of continuous protests in Iran, despite the killings, torturing, and imprisoning so many people. And the people are destined to change the government and they're ready for change in Iran.
Yeah, 8 months. Hard to believe it's been that long, but Mahsa Amini was arrested back in September, killed while in custody of these morality police officers. You know firsthand that, you know, a lot of what the government and the police have done there has really taken away a lot of rights of Iranians. Describe that, what it's like right now in Iran for people who are trying to gain back some of their rights.
Yeah, young generation, especially in Iran, and many sectors in the society, they're fed up with this regime. They want change. They want regime change. They want to establish a free, democratic, secular, non-nuclear republic, Iran. And they're paying a heavy price. The last 42 years, 120,000 people have been executed by this government. In just a matter of summer of 1988, 30,000 political prisoners have been executed by this regime. Is well documented by Amnesty International and United Nations, and majority of them were supporters and members of MEK, Iran's largest opposition group.
Okay, and this is, you know, the executions of people who are against the current regime. To think that you would get a death sentence because you disagree with the government. Here in America, that's not the case necessarily, but in Iran, day in, day people are still dealing with that, right?
Exactly, exactly. So many of the protesters that have been arrested, they're under torture and they're under execution, and I'm sure you heard that few of them already have been executed. Right. And many are waiting for executions.
Now, I want our viewers at home to understand, I mean, we have the right to protest. We've seen a lot of protests here for women, life, freedom in San Diego, LA, Orange County, a huge group of Iranians across Southern California and the country who can freely protest. But in Iran, that is not the case. I think a lot of times we forget there are countries where people do not have this freedom.
That's very true. Unfortunately, in the case of Iran, from the early days, I remember when Khomeini came and took over the power. I witnessed, you know, mistreatment of women, especially in Iran. I participated. I was a young man, 1980s, I believe, early 80s. I participated in a protest against, as soon as they forced the hijab on women. Iranian main opposition, MEK, organized a rally against the fundamentalism in Iran, and they wanted to support Iranian women's rights. And from the early stage, they suppressed any part of any demonstrations, anyone that who said anything against the government.
So this was in the early 80s when you were still living there, and you had to leave Iran, right?
Yes, I fled Iran because of government's prosecution. My best friend got executed just having a piece of flyer against the government. And this is a story that you hear from so many other Iranians that had to leave Iran.
Wow. Your best friend had a flyer that was disagreeing with the government.
Exactly.
And he was executed?
Yeah, he was executed.
I'm so sorry.
For that. Thank you. And yeah, I remember days that many people got executed. The government didn't know their names, and they had these newspapers with their pictures on, asking their family to identify these kids that got executed and come and get them.
And a lot of
they charge them for bullets.
Wow. Okay.
Yes,
they charge the families for bullets.
For bullets that they use to
their children.
Exactly.
My goodness. I know you've gone through that, obviously, in the 80s. You're seeing the uprising again by a lot of young people again. Tell us what's different about these protests now. Do you see that this is going to change the government? Is there hope for that?
I'm very hopeful, and we are very hopeful as a community that this time is very different. As I mentioned, 8 months of continuous protest, and this protest is very organized and asking for regime change, targeting Khamenei and saying death to Khamenei and death to dictator, and they're opposing any type of dictatorship, be the previous dictatorship, the Shah, or the current Khamenei. So they want change. They're tired of mistreatment. They're tired of violation of human rights in Iran, and it's a new generation, and they won't stop until they change this government.
Yeah, we hope not many more lives are lost in all of this. Obviously, they're risking their life doing what they're doing. Nasser, thank you so much for joining us. I could talk to you about this for a long time, but I know we are out of time here, but it was great to have you here with us.
Thank you so much. I would like, if I may, applaud Congressman Scott Peters and Congressman Juan Vargas, who among 230...
What are you doing?
I'm looking at my new Toyota.
Really? I thought new vehicles were hard to come by.